I could stay like this, forever following you. Just don't get too far, and I'll be right where you are. You're a dream that I could finally see.
Hello everyone, Abby here at Purple Cottage Crafts, and I have a super fun video for all of you today. I luckily came across Heather Tracy's YouTube channel, and I will link it below as well. When you watch her videos, her opening says like her logo, like I'm Abby, but my channel is Purple Cottage Crafts. Hers is called ThicketWorks. This lady is amazing. I'm serious. She just does the most cool mixed media stuff that I think I've ever seen. It's just awesome. So I came across her video, and it's titled DIY Vellum Technique. I will have a direct link to that video below. Hers is only 4 minutes and 6 seconds. So if you want to watch her quick one versus Abby's, I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. So I watched her video, and I wanted to try this DIY vellum technique myself, and I'm just so excited. I saw it last night for the first time, and I stopped everything else I was working on because I really want to incorporate this technique into a couple of projects that I'm working on. So this some of the supplies that I gathered. I have two of my you know, mats from Tim Holtz. I might use those, I'm not sure. And then I have a variety of things. Baby oil, which you definitely need for the technique. She talked about that. I got this one at Dollar Tree, just a small bottle. And you're going to want like some different inks and sprays and things like that. And so I just kind of grabbed a few of my different ones there, and a container to put the baby oil in. This is a brush I'm going to use just for this process or this technique, so I just put a little label on there because I don't want to have to keep using different brushes. This is Timmy's splatter brush. And this I got to poke a hole in the top of the baby oil. I also gathered some stamps because at the end of her video she shows a really cool way to have the stamps show through the paper that you just turned into the faux vellum, I guess you could say. Now some of the images I grabbed, this is from a digital image I got from Pinterest, I believe it was, just these postcards. I printed these in black grayscale on purpose. This here is from our girl, Miss Tracy Fox. This is part of her massive digital kit that she has up. This is her her Etsy channel is this. Well, or Etsy channel. Her Etsy shop is here, and I'm going to link everything below. And her YouTube is just Tracy Fox. So this is a gorgeous, gorgeous kit from the tour collection, so I wanted to show you that. This one I did do in color as well as this one. This is something else that I found online via Pinterest. So if I can find those images from Pinterest where I pinned them from, I will link them below as well, and we'll kind of go from there. So I have all the supplies that I believe I need. I have some cloths off to the side. This is just the Art Guard. It's the barrier cream. I just did my nails last night. It's not a perfect job, but I just did them last night, and I want to put this on my hands so I don't have, like, you know, stains and whatnot on my fingers. Normally I don't care, but when they're polished, I like to keep my hands looking fairly clean. So I'm going to go ahead and get myself set up, and by now you could have already watched her video and saw the whole thing. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get my desk set up, and I'll come back on and I'll show you how to do this really cool process that I learned from Miss Heather Tracy. So I'll see you in just a minute. Okay, so I have everything set up. I went ahead and cut all the images out to kind of save time. I did some more of my snippet cutting, and I will put a link to that Quick Tips with Abby video in the cards, and also link below. So I'm just going to do one on like real time, and I'm going to do the rest of them as a process video because, you know, I think it's a really, really super easy technique, and she did a fantastic job of explaining it. So all of her videos are like that. She does a really, really fantastic job of talking. So I'm going to go and get these inks out of the way, and the ones I'm going to be using, it's going to be a combination of walnut stain, gathered twigs, and the ground espresso. I already got my dappers ready here. Let's see, this is my walnut stain. Oops, let me do them in order here so I can have them right. Ground espresso, and this will be for my gathered twigs. Alright, so what I did, like I mentioned, this was actually one full sheet, and I cut it in half because I'm going to be using these in a tome that I'm working on right now. It's a commission piece, and I didn't want the pages to be quite as big for that project. So I just trimmed it down, and again, I did a little snippet cutting. So what I'm going to do first, what she showed on her video, is she went ahead and added some distressing to it. So I'm going to do that here real quick. I might want to use the more of the ground espresso, I think, because this is pretty light on here. And I want it to be just a little bit darker. So let me go ahead and finish up with this, and then we'll move on to the darker color. I'm just so excited about this technique, you guys. As soon as I saw this video last night on her channel, and it was about 2 o'clock in the morning because I don't sleep good because my facial pain, as we all know, I couldn't get up. I mean, I could have gotten up, I guess, and came to my craft room, but, you know, I do need to try to sleep. Let me zoom in just a little bit. Sorry about that. There you go. And the way I stumbled across her channel is actually, I went to watch Stephanie Pettis with the Rolling Studio. I'll link her channel below as well, because she did a tutorial on this, on silicone lace, and I'd never heard of that before. So when I watched Stephanie's, then Heather's came up in the suggested, so I started watching hers, and I was just like, oh, this is so cool, and that's how I came across her channel. So I've been binge watching. So I'm going to go ahead and pause real quick while I finish this up. I think it's probably pretty self-explanatory and probably pretty boring. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and ink up all the other ones, and I'll come back on. Okay, so I have all of the pieces inked with a different combination of inks that I shared with you. I did front and back. Now, Heather did not do the back side of hers. I don't know if mine's gonna maybe not turn out as well as hers did because I did that. I just wanted to kind of experiment. And I also wanted to note that there were a few of the collage pictures that I printed out in color. I just wanted to kind of play and see how it would work with color. As well as the black and white document, which is what Heather had used. So the next step in her tutorial is to go ahead and just add some droplets of water and then dry it with your heat tool. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this one right here real quick on camera, and then or live while I'm chatting with you, and then I'm going to do the rest of them as a process video because, again, this is probably very boring for you to watch it. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. They're all dried and ready to go. So I think the pieces I'm going to work on in real time are these two halves. And I just put down a, this is from the Dollar Tree, it's one of their little baking things. And I just used the lid because it's flat. And I'm going to do the oil in here. And then when I wipe off the top side, I'm going to move this out of the way and then put it this side and do it on the, dry the back side off. So because she said it's very important to not to once you're done with getting the oil on it and you're ready to wipe it off, you need to wipe off the top side, and then when you go to lay down to the back side, your surface needs to be clean so the oil doesn't get back on the paper again. So I'm just trying to make a quicker step by just doing it here and then finish it on my craft mat. So I just poured some baby oil into this little container here, and I'm going to put it off to the side so I don't make a big old mess. And like I said, I'm just using a old I almost said paintbrush. Old paintbrush. Yeah, paintbrush. I thought I said never mind. I was thinking in my head that I was saying toothbrush. Okay, let me zoom in here a little bit so you can see how this is looking. And I did take my rings off just so I didn't have to mess with trying to get oil off, you know, the diamonds and everything. So, and I'll put this a little bit closer to the dish here. Just trying to keep it on one of my protective surfaces so it doesn't get all over my craft, the vinyl mat I have on my craft table. So I love the smell of baby oil. I don't know about you guys, but it totally reminds me of when my kiddos were little babies. And even with Kyron, when I was there after he was born, you would put that on him and stuff after his bath and that kind of stuff. And it was just, I don't know, it's very reminiscent to me of when my kids were little. And this is kind of a cheaper brush, so the bristles are kind of coming out, but I can pick those off later as well. I don't need to mess with it right now. So I forgot to show you because I just started doing the other side because I was yakking. When I get the first side done on this other half, I'll show you when I flip it over, I'll kind of talk to you more about how it's so translucent. Now I did forget to mention earlier in the video as well that this is just regular copier paper, printer paper that I printed off onto my or from my Kodak mixed media printer that I have. And I'll link that below just in case anybody's interested about buying it. I got mine from HSN a while back when they had like their craft day. It's actually an Anna Griffin printer, and I do really like it. At first I didn't, but it was just a little bit of a learning curve. So, but I do like it. So, and I know that I've seen other people after watched Heather's, you know, other ones come up on your suggested feed after you watch a certain type of a technique video or whatever. Some people had success with laser and some people had success with just an inkjet, so it's probably going to vary. So look how translucent this is already just from me doing the top part. So she did front and back because she wanted to make sure that all of the parts of the paper were totally saturated in with the baby oil. So it's going to give you a much more authentic looking piece of vintage parchment, or vellum, excuse me. So, alright, so I think I get everything pretty much covered. These aren't like a whole sheet. She used her hands. I don't think I need to do that. I was going to, but I think this brush has really got every surface. I'm being careful to go around, to making sure that I go around on the edge of the paper as well, because I want to make sure everything is completely coated with this oil. And what I'll do is get this dried off here, and then she used her heat tool, or wipe it off, excuse me, and then she used her heat tool to dry this, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'll show some of the other pieces as a process, because I know some of you like to watch it like that, and then we'll just kind of go from there. So let me go ahead and put the lid back on the baby oil. Don't need that all over my craft room, on my craft table. Let me get my brush set off to the side. That was very therapeutic, by the way, to wipe on that. I really liked that. That sounds weird, I'm sorry, but it's like fussy cutting for me. So I just have an old craft rag that I get. I buy these from Walmart. You can get like a stack of them for like $5 or something. So they're not like good, you know, quality washcloths. I'm just going to dry this off like she did on this one side, and then she flipped it over and did the other side. So let me get the two top sides done first, and then I will flip them over onto my craft mat and then wipe them off the other side, and then I will dry them, and we'll move on to the next step of this project. So really, really cool. I'm trying to be mindful that I keep this hand clean so I don't get oil over my video camera when I'm starting and stopping and stopping and starting, all that good stuff. So look at this side here. I love how this looks already, and I haven't even really done anything to it that she did in her video, so pretty exciting. Alright, so I'm just going to go and grab my heat tool, and I'm going to go ahead and dry these two pieces here. And then what I'll do is I'll come back on and show you the different inks and things that I have that she did as well. And then I'll kind of do the rest of these at the end of the video, towards the last part. So if you're not interested in watching me do this for the other pieces, I totally understand that. Don't expect you to. But I'll go ahead and come back on and show and finish up the last little bit of the last few steps of this process, so you can see how it all goes from the beginning to the end. So I'll see you in just a little bit. Okay, so I have my table all kind of set up to do the next step. I want to say real quickly, if you hear our little Dotson Bella barking, we have a friend coming over to the house. My door is closed, my craft room is in the front part of the house, so I apologize if that happens. So I have wiped this off a few times with a paper towel, a couple paper towels, including the cloth, and this is so awesome. I love this. Heather, I don't know if this is your original idea or if you saw it from somebody else, but whoever originally created this, this is a fantastic idea, and I am obsessed. Definitely going to be doing this a lot more in my crafting. And there goes Bella, I can hear. So I wiped everything off the front and the back, and you can kind of, and I put it on some white parchment paper so you can see a little bit easier than with my brown Craftman. I'm going to stand up and make sure I'm in frame and everything. So I'll hold it up where you can kind of see that sheen on there. This is so cool. I love it. So what Heather did next is she had some distress stain from our Timmy, and I have some, but shocker, it's in purples. So what I did is I reached for some sprays, and I'm hoping these are going to work in the same way. So I have the espresso from Adirondack from Tim. This is a baseboard from Plain Jane, which is under the umbrella company with Tattered Angels. And then I have this chalkboard glimmer mist from Tattered Angels, and then I have just a little bottle of some coffee spray that I made. And then lastly, I have this Metalique wax. It's vintage gold, and it's from Prima. Finnabair made it, designed it. If you guys have not bought this and smelled it, it smells so good. I can't explain it, but it's like a nice, not really floral, but just a really nice scent, and I love this stuff. It works so cool. So I thought I'd kind of play around with it. Now I'm not using all of those items that I showed you on these 2 pages. I still have this stack over here that I mentioned. So I'm going to try to play around a little bit differently. Let me show one other thing, because I'm going to be doing the rest of this as a process after I do this section here. This is just some pink ballet slipper chalk paint. I wanted to experiment and see if this would also work on some of these more shabby chic tags and things that I have. So I wanted to give that a try. We'll see if it works or not. And then a couple different sprays. I have the Heirloom Gold from Perfect Pearls, and this is from Tattered Angels. I don't remember the name of this one because it came like a little, it came like in a kit, but this is what it looks like. So I just kind of wanted to play around with different colors and see what I would like and what I wouldn't like. So I went ahead and put a little bit of the 3 sprays I showed you at first in here, and I can add a little bit of water if I want to do that. And then I just have our old craft brush here to kind of put this stuff on. So I'm going to, once again, real quickly, where did I put it? Where did I put it? Well, I don't know what I did with it. That's okay. I was going to put some more of that stuff on my hands, but that's okay. I don't know where I moved it to. Oh, there it is. Sorry, guys. Like I said, you probably could have watched Heather's tutorial probably 20 times over. But this is Abby, and this is how I kind of do my videos and stuff. So I apologize if this is a little bit longer than what most of you would prefer. But you can skip ahead if you want. Or just go watch Heather Tracy's video, which I will have linked below. Either one. So, alright, now we'll get back to business here. Okay, so let's start off with... what if I do a little bit of dark? Let's see. Let's try this little bit of dark first. Now I want to add just a little bit of water to it because it's I don't want it to be like massively dark. And this espresso color from Timmy is pretty dark. Let me spray in here actually, because I know I'm just going to pour way too much water like I typically do. I'm going to take it off to the side over my trash can. Just add a little bit of water. Kind of dilute it a little bit. Okay, there we go. Alright. Kind of give this a little bit of a stir here. I'm just going to start adding some onto the pages here. So I'm going to go off to, I'm not going to go on any text right now because I want to make sure that I want to see how dark this was concentrated first. So I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to make like in a special, you know, shape or pattern or anything. I'm just going to kind of dab this on. And as Heather said in her video, it kind of lends to the authenticity part of making, you know, your own faux vellum, so to speak. So I'm just going to kind of do this a little bit. Now I probably could have made this a little bit darker, but I'll do that probably on the second one just to kind of play around and see how it looks. And so she just kind of does this all over her page that she created. And I'm going to do the same, just kind of randomly, not, you know, any particular order or whatever, just kind of making it random as much as I possibly can. Let me rinse up my brush. And then next we'll do it on... we'll pick the other color here. Let's try a little bit of a lighter one. And we'll try the middle one, which is the Plain Jane Semi-Opaque Matte Mist. And that almost dried up, sucked up into my brush. Almost in my toothbrush. I don't know why I keep saying that. Probably because she used a toothbrush in her video. And I keep thinking about her video, so what I saw. Alright, so now it's enough of the browns, I think, for this one. And so what I'm going to do next is add some colors. She used Heidi Swap gold spray, and I don't have any gold spray, but I do want to try a little bit of coffee spray and see what that looks like on there. Just kind of give a little bit of a spray here, and I'll do the same thing over here too. This one's a little bit darker and than this one, so we'll really be able to see it on this one. Ooh, coffee smell, love it. All right, now I want to do... Let's try a little bit of this one from Tattered Angels, that yellow. I want to see how this looks on here. Now, she didn't wipe hers off when she sprayed it on her page. She left it. But I might dab some of this off because it's a little bit more yellow, I think, than I really wanted to have on there. I just wanted to kind of try it the way she did it to see how that works. Let me just grab this. A little bit of a baby wipe here. We'll kind of just suck a little bit of this up. Not a lot of it, just a little bit. Just so it's not quite so concentrated yellow. Some got on the other page, and that's totally fine. Okay, do that. Put this off to the side for later use. Now, let's go ahead and work on the next one. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to add the vintage gold to this because it's still wet, but what I'll do is I'll dry these and then I'll put the vintage gold on, probably just this one here. This, because I really kind of want to have a difference of, to not make them super matchy is what I'm trying to say. So, do that. Let's get into this other brown over here. Kind of come down here a little bit. I even thought about doing like a thumbprint, so it looked like, you know, when somebody was picking up the parchment or something, they had like maybe ink on there, or I keep saying parchment, but I don't know if that would look silly or not. So since I'm going to put these in a commission project, I don't really want to stray too far from what I'm trying to do. So I mean, I'll definitely give that a try though on a different one. So maybe one of those postcards, I'll do that. All right, let's go a little bit in the middle here. And it probably will look a little bit better if you used your finger, which I typically do. Like I said, I just, you know, did my own home manicure last night. Don't look too close. It's not very good. Okay, so leave that alone there. And now let's get this out of the way so I don't have a bunch of things falling all over at my table. Now I want to add, let's try a little bit of the heirloom gold on here and see how that works, or how that looks. I still got my wipe here in case I need to bring some of that color back. So let's give this a try and see how this looks on here. I'm afraid to squeeze it very hard. I'm trying to do like little droppies here. There we go. It says heirloom gold, so I want to see if I can pull out some of that gold color in there. And then she also had a toothbrush that she used to kind of put some different spatters and stuff on. So I'm going to do that too. I'm not going to use a toothbrush. I'm going to use my, where did I put it? Did I leave it back here? I think I did. Did I? What did I do with my spatter brush? What did I do with it? Oh boy. Oh, here it is. I had it buried in some paper. So I'm going to do this. Give this a whirl and see how this looks. So I want to try that with, what color do I want to do this with? Let's see how dark the coffee looks. And if that isn't dark enough, then I will go ahead and pour some coffee in here. Then I will go ahead and use that darker ground espresso and see how that looks. And I got to take the time to close this stuff. Sorry guys, I just don't want to have this all over my craft table. All right, so I'm going to see how well this picks up with the splatter brush with the coffee, and then I'm just going to kind of flick it and get some splatter. And I think it looks, oh, it's working really good. I've only used this a few times. Why, I don't know. I typically use like a toothbrush or a paintbrush, tap it on the back, but yeah, this looks really good. I like how it's splattering on there, so very cool. All right, now let's get some more of that darker Adirondack, or the Adirondack ground espresso, and see how that's going to look. Whoa boy, see, did too much there. I always do that. I'm not going to add water to it. I'm just going to leave it like it is, concentrated, and then I'll put it back in the, once I'm done with everything, then I'll kind of pour that back into the main bottle. It's going to kind of tap off to the side here because I don't want it to be too concentrated. Oh, this looks great. I'll zoom in once I get this done so you can kind of see how it looks. Now, she didn't do any of this on the back side of her paper that I saw, if I remember correctly, but you totally could. I don't think I'm going to on these. I think I will on the smaller, like the tags and stuff, because those are going to be things that I'm going to be paper clipping in. Oops, off my finger. I'm going to be paper clipping in some of those tags, and so you'll be able to see the back side, so probably on the back. But let me kind of sop up just a little bit of this here. Not all of it. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is kind of get this cleared off, and I'm going to dry these, and then I'll come back on and let you see how they look once they're all done. And then I'll do that vintage gold rub on one of these too. So I'll be right back. Okay, so here are the two little pieces of my faux vellum. I think these turned out really super cool. And I can see my fingers through this, and it's just a brilliant, brilliant idea. And I'm really excited to incorporate this more into my crafting projects, and even experimenting on different types of papers and using different sprays, and trying maybe some gelatos or Tim's distress markers or more of Finnabare's products to use, mixed media stuff. So this is really, really fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly do this vintage gold bit, and then I'm going to finish up these pieces in a process form so you can watch if you want to, or if you want to be done, that's totally cool too. Thanks for watching if you do go. And I like to trim my little makeup sponges down that I use for these. I don't have a dedicated paintbrush for those yet. I need to do that, but I just kind of try to make it where it's not quite such a square, so I don't get that square look on my paper. And I should have done this before I started filming again, sorry. Side to side. Alright, so just kind of dip in here a little bit and get some. I'm going to kind of go off on the side here to make sure I don't have a little bit too much. And I just want to see how this is going to look on here. May work or may look bad. I don't know. We'll see. I guess that'd be kind of fun to give it a whirl. So from what I've seen just from that first part, it does kind of cover up the words a little bit, but you can still kind of see through, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up with this, and then I'll come back on and do the process portion of this, and I'll show them all to you at the very end. So I'll see you in just a little bit. Okay, I came back on because I completely forgot to talk about the fact that this really worked with images that I printed out in color. So, and Heather didn't say that they wouldn't. That's not what I'm trying to say. Well, she just did black and white, but I wanted to kind of play with the color because I'm going to be using these in a tome that I'm working on. So, I thought this was really cool. I mean, look at that, you guys. You can still see, let me stand up so I can make sure I'm in frame. You can still see the color from the picture on the edging, but it's still, you know, pretty transparent. Isn't that cool? I'm so happy that I tried it with the color. I think that's really fun. And the backside looks good too. So let me show you on this one. This was obviously a darker concentration. This is from one of Tracy's images here. And you can still see it, but look, you can still kind of see through there and see my fingers moving. So awesome. I cannot wait to fold this up and tuck some stuff in there. This is the other one from Tracy's, I think it's On Tour Embellishment Kit, I think is what it was. So, just so cool, you guys. I mean, I am so in love with this. I have no idea how long this has been out there, but I've never came across it before, and I think it's awesome. I'm officially obsessed with this technique, and I'm going to be doing it a lot in different projects. So, I'm going to go and get back to finishing these up, and then I will see you at the end of the clip. Okay, everybody, so these, I'm done with this project for this video, and I am just, I know I keep saying this probably over and over, I am just obsessed with this, and I can't believe that I didn't stumble across this until last night. This is such a cool thing to do, and I have so many different ideas and variations on this that I've kind of jotted down in my brain, and hopefully I'll be able to get those out of my head onto my crafty planner for YouTube and not forget them. Of the different ways I want to kind of tweak, or, you know, like I said, different variations, maybe different materials, things like that. So I'm definitely going to be doing more of these DIY vellum type of videos, doing different techniques and things like that. So, and testing them really to see if they work or not. So I think it's really cool. I keep saying that, but these are the two first two papers or pages I did. I'll show you there. And I wanted to kind of focus on these here. Well, all 6 of these tags actually. I can really hold 3 in my palm. These are with the chalkboard, chalk paint, the Pink Ballet by Waverly, and I just watered it down, or I mean I diluted it with some water. This looks so cool, so cool. I was curious if like wax paints, or excuse me, chalk paints, and if acrylic paints, things like that would kind of work on this, and they do. I think it's awesome. So at least it's a look that I like. And the reason I chose pink, and I didn't want to do too many of the darker spots on these, because these are going into a very pink, shabby chic, female, really kind of a delicate, dainty type of a book, and I didn't want to have too much darkness on there. Now, I'm probably going to put a couple of these postcards in, because I can come back through here and add some different inks on the edges, and, you know, do some different things to kind of make them blend in with this a little bit more. But I think this is really cool. I love it, and like I said, if you want to watch a 4-minute and 6-second, was it 4 minutes and 6 seconds? Let me look again. Yeah, 4 minutes and 6 seconds of this whole thing. Again, check out Heather Tracy's YouTube channel, link in the description box below. But if you like me, if you're subscribed, I'm guessing that you do, and how I'm kind of chatty and do a lot of different steps and everything, then go ahead and, you know, obviously watch the rest of this video so you can see that. So, again, don't forget to head out to Tracy Fox's Etsy shop. These are just 2 of the images from her amazing collection she has. And she has quite a few, not just like one set or anything. So be sure to go give her some support and some love. And also check out her channel. If you're not already subscribed, please do that. Because Tracy is another phenomenal crafter and artist. And she's just got a lot of stuff to share with journal making and just all kinds of really cool stuff. So I'm going to go and wrap this up. And I will see you all in my next video. If you have any questions or anything, leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you all in my next video. So happy scrapping, happy planning, happy crafting, and happy DIY vellum in. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!